everybody, and welcome to the HeartWorking Dad Podcast for Christian fathers looking to put the work into their hearts so they can watch God transform the lives of their family and themselves. I'm your host, Gabriel Perez, and if this is the first time we're meeting, I am a husband married to my wife for 12 years. I have 3 kids, 10, a 7, and a 3-year-old, and my wife and I both work together in homeschooling our children. In addition to that, I am a certified biblical parenting coach from the National Center of Biblical Parenting Association. All right, that was a mouthful. And we release episodes every 2 days, every Tuesday and Friday, 10-minute episodes, just quick thoughts to listen, to ponder, and get you on with your day. And so with that, let's get started with this Tuesday episode. Here I go. 75 hard. I started and I quit. Yes, and it pains me to say that, but I'm actually discovering so much more into that process than I actually thought. I've done 75 hard, attempted it many times, and many times I have failed, and it has nagged me like, why can't I finish this? I need to finish it. I'm going to try it. And then when I get into it, I realize quickly, like, this is actually, I feel bad. I feel guilty because I can get these things done, but then I'm struggling getting the things done for my family. It's interesting. I can do 2 45-minute workouts, but I can't spend 45 minutes hanging out with my kids. I can wake up early to go work out because I need to get done, but I can't wake up early to seek the Lord. So there's conviction in it. The second time around, I felt a better calling to it. Like maybe if I center it also around my family, center it around getting it done early, maybe it would be better. And maybe it will serve my family and it will also serve myself. Excuse me. It didn't. And it did and it didn't, because it went really well to begin with. And I was pretty adamant about doing it this time to go in full force, and I was killing it. I was rocking it. And then some questions were asked to me. Talking with my wife, some friends, it was, why are you doing this? Like, really, what is the purpose? And because the root of it is I don't want to be a failure. I feel like I'm a failure when I'm not doing this. And if I do this, I won't be a failure. And to take it one step further, I won't be a failure to those around me. And is that true? Because I didn't finish 75 hard, I'm a failure? In one aspect, yes. Like, let's not sugarcoat anything, you failed. But does that mean you're a failure in life in general? No. But I so easily put on that mantle. I put on that mantle of failure because I failed it before. This is what defines me. And it doesn't define me. And what if, and I still wrestled with it. Like, if I stop now, I'm still quitting. I'm still a failure. I don't know if I can do that again. And I had a friend tell me, 75 hard is great. But what is your motive? What is the motive for why you do what you do? Because everything we do has a motive. Everything. Whether good, bad, indifferent, there is a motive behind everything we do. When you kiss your wife, you could have a motive to want to engage in intimacy. You can have a motive to just want to give her love. You can have a motive of just being indifferent, but there is a motive for everything. And we have to understand our motives. We have to understand that our hearts may seek something that we don't actually understand fully, that there may be a motive behind it, and what may seem pure may not be the true reasons. And we can easily fool ourselves with our motives. We can easily fool ourselves with our own motives. We can easily pretend that they're for God, they're for others, they're selfless reasons, but really they're selfish. God is not fooled by our selfishness, and he is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. And so, not lying to God, not lying to myself, what is the motive that I had for doing it? Because I wanted people to see that I wasn't a failure. Therefore, the health benefits. Yeah, I want health benefits. I want to feel good. I want to look good. But in all of it, it was because I wanted others to not think I was a failure. And is that a way to operate? As a man, I think we care so much. We can easily care for so much of the applause of men. And when I factored that in, when I had to think about that, that is a true motive. And that once I do this, I will have more authority in my ministry, the HeartWorking Dad ministry. I'll have more authority with what I'm doing, and everything will work out once I do this thing. Is that the right motive of the heart? Or is that selfishness? Is that validation? Yeah, it was. And once I understood where I was in that process, I had to take a step back. And I'm so grateful for the brother who said, look, you just check the motives of your heart. It's great if you do it for the right reasons, it's great. But if you find you're doing it for the wrong reasons, then you know what? Don't do it. But guess what? It doesn't change who you are in God's eyes. Whether I did 75 hard or not, whether it doesn't change. God still sees me the same. My identity has not changed. Who I am has not changed. And I think we can easily just put this pressure on us. And I easily do. That's what I live under, is this pressure that I put on myself that I'm a failure. If I don't do this, then I won't be a failure. And we measure our lives on outside circumstances without measuring our heart, without measuring how God measures us. So where is your identity? Your identity lies in your accolades. My identity, therefore, was aligned with what I'm doing and not who I am in Christ. So we need to remember why we are doing what we're doing. What is the motive of our heart? Because Proverbs 16:2 says, all a person's ways seem pure to them, but motives are weighed by the Lord. You can fool everyone around us. I can fool everyone by finishing 75 hard and say it was because I was doing it for the Lord. I was doing it for my family. I was doing it for me. But the Lord knows what the real reasons you're doing it for. I was doing it for influence. I was doing it to be powerful. I was doing it for validation. I was doing it so I wouldn't be a failure. And that just doesn't add up in that. Now you can want to make change and you can do 75 hard, and I think it's a great thing. You check the motives of your heart. Maybe one day I will have a better motive. I'll have a better reason for doing 75 hard. But why don't I just try doing life? As a friend put it, why don't you just do life? That's really the big change. Why don't you just work on the plan that you set forth? And you know what? It brings me back to the HeartWorking Dad plan that I have. I've set that up, and once I started 75 hard, it was like, man, I can knock this down 7 days a week, going 75 days. But then something like this, spending time with God, affirming and validating my wife, spending 15 minutes with each kid, exercising just 30 minutes. I'm struggling. I'm not completing it. So I would encourage you, just in the process of whatever you're doing, check the motives of your heart. Whatever you're going through, it doesn't even have to be that you're doing something. It could just be the mantle of failure that you're putting on, the mantle of identity that you are putting on yourself. What identity are you putting on yourself? And so with that, I'd like to end this episode and give you some food for thought, and I'll see you on the next one. Talk soon.